Hi guys, this is Molly here for the game today at KGV. We're going to be watching Hobart Zebras take on Launceston City for a battle that is going to be epic. So we've got co-commentator Andrew Cooling. He's coming late, but he'll be here to watch the game with us once it gets started and he arrives. And we'll just run through the teams. And for Hobart Zebras, we've got number 9 Alyssa Bowden, number 17 Georgia Burt, number 4 Alessia Collinsy, number 5 Erin Delaney, 15 Lucy McGregor, number 2 Caleb Mason, number 6 Sarah Morris, number 7 Madeline O'Brien, number 1 Casey Ponting, number 21 Rachel Ridler, and number 10 is Monique Undy. And for their subs today, they've got number 23 Ali Berry on the bench and number 3 Danielle Ganessa. And we'll be going through the away team with Launceston City. We've got number 14 Marilla Agotaski, number 7 Bethany Bygrave, number 1 Lucine Dewsbury, number 2 Kelleen Fagan, number 12 Sydney Hector, number 5 Brooke Hemmick, number 11 Alemi Hemmick. Number 8, Holly Saville. Number 10, Lillian Shigog. Number 16, Celine Steventon. Number 6, Kira Walsh. And for their subs, they've got number 9, Madison Duffy. And number 4, Anika Retzima. And they're the team's lineups for today. And the sun's finally come out here in Hobart. We didn't think it was going to happen for a bit, but we've been blessed for today. And it's going to be a good game for both teams to enjoy the weather and to hopefully just kick the ball around and get some goals. And we've got the ladder here, and this is an important game for both sides if they want to challenge Ulverston for the number 1 spot, with the game pretty much being whoever gets this is going to have a good strangle on second place. You've got Launceston City on 15 points and Hobart Zebras on 10 points with 1 win difference between them. So for the Zebras, the last 5 games, last week they got a hard-fought win against Clarence at 2-0. The week before that, they saw out a draw against Taruna, 1-1, and then they won the game before that against Kingborough 7-2, very convincing. And then at Ulverston they struggled with a 2-1 loss, their first loss in a number of games. And then then they took on University 5 weeks ago and won that 2-0. And Launceston City, they had a tough one last week against Ulverston, who were top of the table, losing out 6-3. And before that, they've been on a convincing run of games with 4 wins on a trot, against South Hobart, where they won out 5-3. Taruna, they got a convincing semi-convincing 4-3 result. And then they took on Clarence. They took on the University for 4-0 win, and one of their earlier games they absolutely thrashed Clarence 11-0. And the teams are lining up and getting ready to play, and we'll be underway soon. And on the right, you've got, in the white kit, you've got Hobart Zebras. And in the green, you've got Launceston City. So we'll have the captains coming out soon to do the coin toss and the handshake with the refs. And there we have Matty O'Brien coming to shake the refs' hands, and we've also got for Launceston City. Selena Stevenson, I believe, is Launceston's captain. So we've got Selena Stevenson there for Launceston and Matty O'Brien for Hobart. Okay, so we're about to get underway, and it looks like Hobart has lost the toss, but they've got the kick-off, so let's see what's going to happen. Monique Undy with the ball to kick off, and they've put it out to the right side of the pitch. Getting some early passes and early touches in through the midfield. Lonnie win it in the middle of the park, and you've got number 7, Bethany Bygrave, doing well there. And a goal kick. Short ball's out, and there's good pressure there by Launceston City. Good pressure there by Launceston, who are again in control of the ball. But an early shot doesn't happen the way they wish, and despite some fighting there, it goes out for a goal kick. Again in control of the ball. Good initial shot, but an early shot doesn't happen. Forget the short pass, it's the long kick of Matty O'Brien. And holding the ball up front didn't work there, with Launceston gaining possession once again. But then quickly turning it back over to Zebras. A good battle there, kept the ball well. Zebras have the ball back, and let's see if they can hold it on for more than a couple seconds. There we go, Launceston's challenging. No, Zebra's still got it. Georgia Burt with a bit of time and tries to find some width, but easily stopped there. Good pressure by the Launceston forwards there. Just unlucky to get a hold of it again. Beth Bargrave with the footwork. And the ball's back in control in the defence. The cross blocked out well. And Zebras are struggling to find much time on the ball here. But there we go, we've got a patch of something going on. And out for a Zebras throw. And a very good press there by Monundy, but it goes to the goalkeeper for safekeeping. And now we've got Andrew Cooling, who's come to help us commentate.
Yeah, nice and on time. Thank you for holding down the fort there, Molly. Good to have you on board for season 2018. What's the early read in this one in the opening few minutes?
Launceston pressing the Zebras whenever they get the ball and doing well with it, but struggling to break down a pretty solid defence for Zebras.
Bowden working that one away, and Zebras' defence. It's a slightly different look to it this year. Emily Nellis, of course, now at Launceston, and a few new faces in there. Kayla Mason revising that centre-back role we saw in early last season before she was shifting around a bit. Monique Undy, who was a big part at the back last year, is leading the line. She's charging off here, but that's steered away. But Riddler out there on the wing. So a few new faces. Tough game this one for the Zebras. Just when they're starting to get a few bodies back in, losing Roberts and Lucy Johnson, a big blow for them. But two teams who need a win, and Launceston City, 13 goals conceded in the last 2 weeks, so I think there'll be a big defensive focus from them today.
Absolutely, you've got to start shutting up shop with that many goals. Even if you are getting a few wins in, you don't want to concede that many.
Walsh there dispossessed, and a chance for Riddler to swing the cross in, but easily gathered at the back. Dewsbury there for Launceston City, looking to get it long, goes right down the middle. Searching ball cut out by Maddie O'Brien. Now the reliable Alyssa Bowden. Delaney at right back is pressured by Hernick. And just keeps it out of play in the end, goes to safety first. Hernick, a real key player for this City side. Good goal scorer, lovely technique striking the ball. You can imagine she's going to be one Luigi will want a big game from if they're going to finally get the monkey off the back and beat this Zebras team. Lucy McGregor now working it forwards, but couldn't pick out Undy. Walsh dispossessed by Bowden. Maybe a chance in here for Monique Undy running in behind. She's just going to hold up as Hernick gets a foot in. Corrals her nicely. Undy waits for support. Comes in the form of Bowden. Back for Georgia Burt. And out Walsh for the throw in. Pretty nice day down here in Hobart, I must say, Molly. I've been up north for the past couple of days, and I was expecting a slightly wetter scene when I arrived back in the capital today.
I think everyone's surely expected a bit more of a wetter game today. You wouldn't have come here thinking that it was going to be dry, and without the goalkeepers will be having a field day, considering the weather we have been having.
Yeah, I think they might have been a bit nervous heading into this weekend. Not good weather for ducks, but not so much goalkeepers.
Absolutely.
So Delaney with the throw-in, works it to Undy. Back to her and Delaney. She swings it in, looking for Morris, and might sit for her. She shoulders down, couldn't connect with the left-footed volley. Works it back, and she will repel the other way. All right. Just misplacing the pass there. It really is a beautiful day for football, and I'm genuinely surprised that is the case. But, hopefully that means we get a good game. We've had 12 months of these two teams having terrific tussles as Beth Bygrave finding a pocket of space. She likes to shoot from distance. She goes.
Oh, good shot.
Over the mark. And I think any time we see Beth Bygrave with that much time and space, the shot's going to be on her mind. She's done this so many times. She just bought the room there. Wasn't too far away. It was just
Lined
always
up the
drifting.
shot well, yeah.
Casey Ponding relieved to see that one fly past the back post there. Georgia Bird offering short for O'Brien. She'll go further afield looking for Bowden. Now above Walsh. Now Stevenson working it forwards in the Hernick direction. O'Brien. Now Riddler. Back in for Delaney. Bowden, that also cut out. Both midfields really getting back and helping their defensive lines at this stage of the game. Not a whole lot of open field for either team. Throw in, Kaylin Fagan there, works it. Trying to play the 1-2, Georgia Burt cut that out. By Hernick, taken down, but getting a foot in was O'Brien. Timely as ever at the back.
Bit of pressure here by Zebras, and Monique Undy wins the ball and has some grass before her.
Just wide of the mark on that occasion, Monique Undy. Leading the line today. A really good job this season for someone who hasn't been a natural striker, playing that role of bringing the midfield and wingers into the game, holding the ball up, waiting for the supporting runs to come. Which is a tough skill to learn, especially for a defender as Riddler's pushed over from behind. That's an easy free kick for Josh McInerney to give. And perhaps a chance for the likes of Georgia Bird or Maddie O'Brien to test the keeper. I just don't know about my producer there. Just having a suggestion of the dive from the Batman villain there, but I think she was well and truly felled.
I've come up against Rachel Riddler, and she is tough to bring down at the best of times. So
fairly blatant little push in the back, and it presents the opportunity for Alyssa Bowden. Plenty of numbers in the box. Zebra's really pushing forwards from this set-piece opportunity. Bowden goes near post, palmed away. Bygrave will just smash it out of there. Any direction will do. Getting a foot in well was Mason ahead of Keelan Fagan. Playing the midfield there. Cut off by Mason, allows Fagan back in, and she's off towards goal. Couldn't get around Bowden though, who just slotted back in nicely. Now Bygrave. Still going Beth Bygrave. She shoots on the left. It's straight at Ponting, and she does well to collect. Beth Bygrave looking to test the Zebras keeper. Hernick making some inroads down the left now. Goes with the cross. Looking for a run at the near post. Making the direction on that occasion.
And here's again Beth Bygrave's earlier shot. Just didn't get the power on it that she was hoping for. bit of lost balance there, I reckon.
You're right with that. On left foot and the weight going the wrong way made it tough. Here's Georgia Burt looking for Lucy McGregor. First time pass to Mason. Now Morris. Lovely passing football this from the Zebras till the commentators curse strikes and they cough it straight up. Here's McGregor. Running away from her. She wanted something to present, didn't do so. Hernick, first time volley over the top. Might spring Keelan Fagan in behind.
Nearly found some space there.
Opposite number Mason. Oh, I thought she'd done well, but she's committed the foul. And this is very much Beth Bygrove territory.
Yeah, dangerous spot to give up a foul there. And unnecessary by the looks of it too. You had Maddie O'Brien there covering for that.
The ball was rolling away from it too. I think unnecessary is the right word. You don't want to go giving Beth Bygrove free kicks in this area of the pitch. We've seen her do the business from here time and time again. What will she conjure up on this occasion? Launceston City star midfielder, she drives it, spills it, then poked over the rebound, and Launceston City have taken the lead here. Might have been Hernick, I think it's Hernick who stroked it home in the end there. And it's going to be a 1-0 lead to City. Ponting just leaving that one on the doorstep, unfortunately for her side. And it's Holly Saville, in fact, who's got the final touch on it. And 1-0 the score. So City, we've seen them leading games with Zebras before, and they've been hauled in. Will that be the case again today, or is this the day they finally can complete the job? Saville with real instinctive poachers finish that one.
They might have a second one here if they can make something use out of, and it goes straight to Ponting.
Keelan Fagan looking to get him behind. The distribution is good from Ponting. Once Ponting gets it there to McGregor. Well shut down there though by Sydney Hector. Game last week against Galveston. Now the Batman villain. Trying to flick it up over the top there with Kiara Walsh. And Bygrove comes across in support. Big up and under. Hernick's managed to keep this one in, and Riddler's forced back on the defensive. Still going Hernick. This is an impressive run. She's got him behind here. She's got a couple to pick out the box, and it's a toe in the end.
Good
from
touch.
Ponting. It just took it away from the dangerous area. But Hernick just made something out of nothing there. Took it into the box. Wasn't too far away from picking out one of the two runners there. Ponting steering it behind for a corner. So here is Holly Saville, the goal scorer. She swings in a dangerous kick to the back post. Well done, Delaney. Cleared it off the line. Wasn't judged overly well, but Pac-Man Delaney there at the back post, doing it well.
That's what you want when you ask for a defender to be on a back post, for them to head it off.
That's why you have defenders on the post. Sometimes not rolling with that from set pieces. I just think there is tremendous value in the defender on the posts from set pieces.
Absolutely, you can't keep them on side doing that because the ball's already on the line, so there's no problem keeping them there.
Indeed, as Burt works this one back, Riddler battling with Kiara Walsh. And Riddler's done really well there. Walsh a little bit mystified, but Riddler gets the decision, just must have played it off of there. Training on the right today. Used in a few different roles, Rachel Riddler, this year and the season before. Playing in attack today. Bowden looks to thread one through. Monique Gundy running there. Dewsbury first to it. Unconventional technique, but just about deals with it. Sliding out with the feet there, Lucian Dewsbury. Steers it away from Monique Gundy. Delaney with the throw in. Undy. Hector smashes that one clear. McGregor making a run, but Delaney will go in the direction of Selena Stevenson. They pulled that one away. Zebra's just patiently probing down the right here. For a good few minutes from Launceston City to spell the pressure out just what they're after. Can they make something come of it? Hernick away and then Bygrave. Smash it up in the air. Now the foot race is on. That's the speedy Holly Saville out there dueling with Kalanzi. And winning that battle is the number 8 there, Holly Saville. And they'll push up. Bygrave has just started in a deep position now, pushing up to try and hit that space at the top of the box. No doubt the Embers are going to be aware they need to close her down. They've already given them a couple of warnings in this game. Here's Beth Bygrave. The run from the teammate is not forthcoming. Back in towards Keelan Fagan. She spreads it to the right, and then the cross comes in. Delaney attacking that one. A good header away. Finds Burt. Riddler for the first time up and under. Away by Stevenson. Finds Bygrave. Now Bygrave again shaping to shoot. Any time she, well, even when she doesn't have space, as we're seeing there, she is looking to test Ponting from distance here. Goal kick. Won't be taken by Ponting. Again, Maddie O'Brien on the kicking duties. Any thoughts on that one, Molly?
Their first one was a short one from Ponting there, and it didn't work for them with Lonnie's high press. I think that's a good move by Zebras there, making sure to clear their lines, especially with how much pressure Lonnie are giving them at the moment.
And Stevenson, a little falcon there on Georgia Burt in the midfield. Still feeling the after effects of it. Here's Beth Bygrave with some room to operate. Lovely swing of that right boot. She fits it right to the middle of the penalty area, but there was Maddie O'Brien. And Rachel Riddler. All pass though, straight to Kiara Walsh. She'll swing it back in, looking for Fagan. Saville. Fagan. Hector. From the ground, Bowden did a good job. Still going, Keelan Fagan. Oh, well done, Kayla Mason. That was a strong challenge. Fagan back to Bygrave. We'll drop it off. The ball in to the back post. Hernick's lurking there. Saville onto the forwards. Some suspicion of handball against O'Brien, but that would be an extremely harsh call.
Very tough call, that.
Might have made contact and flick there, but you can't be calling that one. Morris. Kalanzi. Heavy touch almost. Get the opposition in temporarily there. O'Brien. Wide for Delaney. Made that crucial stop on the line earlier. Now Georgia Burt.
Bit of space to move there. And
here's Walsh. Walsh. Away there, back they go. Riddler with the throw in. Here's Hector. Offs one right into the path of Fagan, who played a clever ball back to Holly Saville. And Saville's going to test Ponting from distance here. And Ponting not troubled in the slightest by that one. An easy collect from the Zebras goalie. Powerful shoulder forward there from Beth Bygrave. She held it forward about 20 yards there with the shoulder. And it'll be a goal kick for Zebras though.
shot for long range.
On the roof, and they've got a game plan here today at Launceston City. anytime they get any sort of space within about 30 yards, they're going to have a pop.
You don't have to worry about breaking down a defence if you don't go near them, I suppose. So, decent theory.
Yeah, they were perhaps a little hesitant to pull the trigger in games like the statewide cup final last year. It's drilled to Burt, and clearly shots en masse is the order of the day for Launceston City at this point. As Mason, that's a risky pass right to 3 City players. One of them was Saville, doesn't really make him pay, but Mason just picking the wrong option on that occasion. 3 Launceston players, and as you've mentioned, Molly, they're pretty red hot on this press, so anytime they're going to build with short passes from the back, they're going to be under pressure doing so. Brian has this one under control and steers it away from Hernick. Crusade with plenty to say on the bench at the moment.
I imagine part of what he's going to say is just try and get the ball in the other half of the field, really.
They've been pegged back on the defensive for the most part, haven't they?
Yep.
We've seen before in matchups between these teams. I remember back to Buckby Park last year. Launceston City absolutely roasted them. Had chance after chance, just could not buy a goal that day, and it was resolute rear guard, backs to the wall type defending job from the Zebras on that day. So City have shown that they can outplay this Zebras team, but outplaying them's one thing, outscoring them another entirely. Here's Hernick, crossing for Fagan. Not dealt with by Mason. Fagan on the turn, well blocked. Kayla Mason recovered superbly there, did Kayla Mason. Long range shot. Ooh, juggled in the end there by Casey Ponting. So the fullback just tried to catch her out with a shot from range. Bygrave away from Morris. Carranzi charged it down nicely. Bygrave over the top looking for Fagan. O'Brien wants her keeper to come collect it, and eventually she does. Lucy McGregor. Delaney, now Bowden. And the pressure from Walsh. Back to McGregor. Hernick with a foot in, ahead of Undy. Bowden. All 3 of our attacking players made similar forward runs. It was either the ball over the top or nothing really for Bowden. This one will make Riddler work for it, and Kiara Walsh stepped in nicely. Delaney back for Bowden. Tricked all the way back for Kayla Mason. She's under hit that pass though. And now on the attack, come Launceston City. Keelan Fagan cutting inside. Keelan Fagan trying to manufacture a shot, just couldn't quite find the space. It was all closed down by the Zebras. Bygrave setting herself for the volley. Jeez, that would have been a spectacular effort if she got that one away.
The dream goal, juggling it up a few times and smashing it to the top corner.
Yeah, I think everyone's dreamed of smashing one of those ones in. I'll be willing to bet that Beth Bygrave has probably done that at some point in her career too.
Me too.
Let's have somewhat of a penchant from distance. Beth Bygrave, as this one's in the middle again. Sydney Hector doing a good job closing the space down for the Zebras. Long throw over the head of Riddler. Here's Walsh. Steps over it.
Oh, clears her out.
Yeah, she just copped some afters there. That man villain there, just having a whack. Seems to be all right though, which is good. Woodstock looking to spring Morris. It's a slightly under-hit back pass there, and eventually it'll be dealt with. The most convincing job, but they got there in the end. He's Bygrave. Work it back again. Again, Shegog. Brian to Mason. Had a lot of touches on the ball at the back, the Zebras centre halves, which probably tells the story of the game, really. And they've coughed it up again. Sydney Hector taking off, trying to thread the eye of the needle between the two there. Shaw in a corner for a side. City's pressure continuing to build here. They're knocking on the door for a second, Molly.
Bit longer than a second. I think it's been most of the 28 minutes it's gone past so far.
About a second goal. Definitely been more than a second. They've been piling it on this half. The corner will be taken. It's a dangerous one.
Goes over the keeper and it's in.
I think it's Lillian Shegog who's claimed the last touch there. Straight over the head of Casey Ponting, who puts her head down. It's just not dealt with at all well by the Zebras at the back. And I think it practically landed on the feet of Lillian Shegog, who's just said, all right, from half a yard out, I'll just roll this over the line. 2-0.
Can't miss from there. Completely misread by the Zebras defence there.
And it was with the delivery. Kiefer comes, got nowhere near it. Centre backs don't touch it. And it has landed on the feet of Shegog, who says, thank you very much. And Launceston City claim a 2-0 lead here. They've been outplaying the Zebras, and now it's showing on the scoreboard. A mountain to climb here for the hosts and defending champions. That was clever. Worked into the path of Holly Saville. It was Hector who played that ball from the ground. Delaney. Can we see a response from the Zebras now? That's a very heavy back pass. Dewsbury's going to scramble for that, and it'll be a corner. A little bit panic to that. And a chance perhaps here for the Zebras to get right back on the front foot and try and pull something back. Because at the moment they are right up against it. Ooh, clawed away. Well done in the end there by Dewsbury. It was a great corner. McGregor plays it back into Burt. Burt wanted to square it there to Bowden, but a defensive foot in took it out of her path, and City clear the area. It's a fantastic corner swung in, caused a few problems. Sarah Morris with the delivery. Looking for Monet Candy, but well done Dewsbury. A strong palm in there. Pushed it away. We've got a brief stoppage here, not really sure what for, but
A lost shoe in the fray of the corner there. Monique Undy's shoe just went flying off.
referee being very generous then.
Very.
A few refs would just say, you go get your own shoe in your own time. I'm not having the game after this. Mason. That's closed down. Shegog.
Lots of space there for both of them.
Combined well, and now Fagan might get on the end of this. It was just slightly over, hit the cross. Terrific overlapping play from Akatowski there. Putting it down to the right, linking up well, continuing to run. Here's Undy. Morris is straight offside, so she's going to have to go for Riddler. Who's well held there by Kiara Walsh. Knew where the ball was going. Having a fantastic season for Launceston City. Kiara Walsh, been one of the players of the season so far across the Super League. A vital part of their early season success. Chalking up 5 wins in the first 6 games. A bit of a dip in the past week in the Cup and against Ulverstone. Slightly humble, but still going pretty well in 2018 City. And as they're showing here today, probably looking like the biggest contender or threat to the new favourites in Ulverstone, who've just emerged as a real force this year. And the Zebras have got some catching up to do, especially in this game where they trail 2-0 just past the half-hour mark. They need a spark from somewhere. This is looking a little bit flat for me at the moment, Molly.
Yeah, there's not much happening where you go, oh, that might happen, but at the moment they're not getting the midfielders on the ball enough, but they're being cut out the moment they get near it. So it's no surprise if you cut out the best players in the park. Lonnie's doing well doing that.
Yeah, they're certainly denying the likes of Burt and Bowden. They've played a lot of passes in their defensive third. Those two midfielders, Lucy McGregor, another one, but they're very deep when they're receiving the ball.
Yeah, you don't want your midfielders receiving the ball constantly that deep.
It's a good effort from Morris to keep it in, but it just snuck over. They're just lacking that spark at the moment. It's been perhaps Lucy Johnson in recent weeks who's given them that shot from distance, the free kick. Just been the type of player who can skip past a defender and make something happen. In her absence, she was there last year. Ali Berry was probably that player in that team last year. I think she's on the bench today.
Yeah, she's on the bench. She's just come back the last few weeks and she's looked good in the reserves.
Yeah, so she could be an option for Chris A in the second half if they've got to chase this game just to spark the side almost, as Kiara Walsh receives it on the left again, and the pressure continuing here from Launceston City. Walsh turns in onto the right, sliding into the box. Bygrave trying to volley, well blocked Lucy McGregor. Fagan, scrappy stuff, and then Saville smashes one. Tremendous power up there from the top of the box. Standing start, but over the goals of Casey Ponting. By Hector, but Undy showed good strength, just shielded her off the ball, held off the attentions of Hector. One back by Holly Saville though. And closed down by Undy, working hard. Throw in there, Nagatowski. It's a build up the right hand side. Goes for Fagan. Trying to flick it straight to Kayla Mason though. Loaded across to steer that one away. Gillen Fagan again. Prodigious young talent. She works this one the Hernick direction. Delaney did nicely to put her off. Riddler clears the area. Walsh tracking back for City. Now Sydney Hector again. Hernick. Riddler. Send it back right to the middle. Right to the path of Beth Bygrave, who chips one. Looking for a run towards the back post there, and it'll just be escorted out of play nicely by Kalanzi. Kept her head well. And Mason to take the kick. Bygrave cutting that one off, and Mason now needs to scramble across in coverage. Left it to Burt. Now O'Brien. Worked this well, the Zebras. They've switched sides. Now what is the question? This is where it's all been breaking down for them, and it does so again. They're just making any penetration in their final third at the moment. It's all breaking apart on halfway, which is just inviting more and more pressure from Launceston City. And if Zebras aren't careful, they'll find themselves down a third here. Keelan Fagan with a sharp turn. Now Saville slides it back into the path of Fagan. Well done, Ponting. Came out and collected. The pressure continuing on Launceston City. Really working them over at the moment. And Beth Bygrave flashing through and then smoking one from distance. It's always going wide. Well, she's not been afraid of pulling the trigger in this half. That's for sure, Beth Bygrave. Good look at Ponting, sharp off the line here to deny Fagan. So Mason again intercepted by Beth Bygrave. Lillian Shegold gets the better of Kalanzi and works it in the Fagan direction. Hernick attacked it superbly and buries it into the back of the net. She just wanted it more. And Hernick makes it 3-0. Launceston City are flying a KG5. Emily Hernick with the goal there. So it was just a tidy finish, but it was the attack on the ball that got her there. It was a ball played into dispute, and it was just a tremendous attack on it.
And again, the Zebras are caught out on another cross. I think this is the third one. All 3 goals coming off crosses here, and just Launceston proving too much for their defence right now.
Yeah, they're getting at them from wide areas. And this has been far from the game I think most were expecting. I think we came here expecting a real contest. Perhaps the 2 teams most likely to be challenging Ulverston this year. Perhaps this would be a game that might settle who the more likely of the 2 was, but it's being emphatically answered at the moment. Zebras looking a shell of their 2017 selves at the moment. And Launceston City, well, talk about a bounce back. It's been a rough pair of weeks for them. And they are bullying the Hobart Zebras at present. And I think right now, I feel the Zebras, they'll be baying for the half-time whistle to regroup.
Absolutely.
Hernick dispossessed well by Delaney, but good support in from Sydney Hector. Maddie O'Brien. Lucy McGregor back to Delaney. Now Georgia Burt. Mason. There's no real purpose to their passing at the moment, the Zebras. They're just treading water, really. There's no thrust to their game. It's normally what you get from them. This has been most unlike the Hobart Zebras team we've seen in the past 18 months. Looking a little out of ideas and frankly a little shell-shocked at the moment. So we have another look at the Hernick goal. Wonderful finish. Nothing Casey Ponting could do. Made a valiant effort, but the defence just needs to deal with that a little better. Here's Beth Bygrave. Swings in the corner. Mason attacked it. And last touch. Coming off a Launceston City head to relieve the pressure. So here, Morris, McGregor. McGregor, Burt. Worked it nicely to Alyssa Bowden. Putting the foot in there, full back to Alyssa Bowden. Now Georgia Burt. Burt threading a lovely ball for Ridley to run onto. Can she pick out Monique Undy in the box? She swings it in that direction. It might go through to Morris at the back post. She just made weak contact with the left on the end there. But probably Zebra's best move they've had in a little while here. Dewsbury, Saville in the middle of McGregor, works it to Fagan. She couldn't get around Kayla Mason. Scrapping away was Bowden. Keeping her feet though was the youngster Keelan Fagan. And Mason getting a foot in there. As we tick towards half time, under 5 minutes remaining in the first stanza here. Shegog. Kayla Mason puts it behind for another corner and another chance for City to pose a question of this defensive unit of the Zebras. And as you've touched on, they've not been dealing with crosses particularly well so far today.
No, I would be saying avoid corners at all costs at this point in time.
Especially when you've got the likes of Beth Bygrave to take them. Bygrave swings in a dangerous ball. Well blocked Mason. Denied the shot. Hector's played it back in. Mason again away. Scrambling across. It'll be another corner. That 2 key blocks in that passage of play from Mason. And putting her body on the line. And she's had a lot of defending to do. Bygrave once again. Over the head of Stevenson. Top of the box was Hector. Knocked away by Delaney, only as far as Brooke Hernick. Her shot repelled by Kalanzi. Hector nods it down. McGregor scrapping away there. Falls the way of Bowden. Getting in with Stevenson. Now perhaps a chance on the counter, but Undy couldn't pick out the run of Morris, and now they're going to have to defend because Bygrave swings in a teasing ball looking for the run of Hernick. Easily gathered on this occasion though by Casey Ponting. Moves it out to Riddler. Bowden back to Burt. Now Beth Bygrave. She's got one thing on her mind. Georgia Burt knew she was just going to try and drag it past her, then launch the shot. And denied her the opportunity to do so. Kalanzi now has to chase this one down, but he's just asking too much of the youngster there. Towski looking to get involved. It was Hernick who stepped in and chipped it forwards though. Mason. It's better of Shegog. Worked it up to Sarah Morris, who had 2 defenders on it. Did well to work it to Wundy, who was outpointed there by Brooke Hernick, having a good game in the middle of the Launceston City defence. Just pushing up the ground and choking the Zebras at the moment. Fagan couldn't keep that one in. 45 seconds left in regulation. The Zebras going to be able to conjure something here. And they have a little more defending to do. Lanzi goes to McGregor. Saville put the knee in. Georgia Burt. So he's dropping deeper and deeper. Here's Maddie O'Brien. Chips it in the Morris direction. She heads it back centrally for Undy. Matowski back to Hernick. Undy doing well with her and Riddler. Still going Undy. Good strength there from the Zebra striker. Now McGregor tried to spring Riddler, but Kiara will shut that down. Saville, well one back by Georgia Burt. Now she threads one through for Riddler, and there might be a late chance here for the Zebras. It was a heavy toucher if Walsh got a foot in there, but the move broken up. Monique Undy just felt she was checked off the ball. Wanted a free kick, nothing doing. And Walsh launches the counter attack with what looks a pretty well weighted ball for Hernick. Charges that one down, and the cross is into touch, and I reckon that will just about be that for the first half here at KG5. It's Launceston City, the visitors, who've come down the highway, put themselves firmly in the ascendancy in this game. Very much in their pocket at the moment. It's going to take a big Zebras fight back in the second 45. Beth Bygrave, she can make an absolute mountain to climb if she put through the fourth. And it goes just wide of the post. The chances continue to mount here for City. I think Zebras will be very relieved when that whistle does go in a minute. O'Brien. Delaney. Now Lucy McGregor. Went back to Burt. And that will be all she wrote for a first 45 minutes. That has seen Launceston City come out and boss this game. They are 3 goals to the good. 3-0 over the hosts, Hobart Zebras, who really have it all to do. Ollie Appleton, is there any hope for the Zebras, or have City gone and wrapped this one up after 45?
I think you've got to think there is some hope. I mean, last week against Ulverston came back from being a couple goals down, so it's not all out and out, but it's a tough mountain to climb. 3-0 for any side, it's a hard one, and then you've got Launceston City sitting second in the league. It's going to be tough for the Zebras to come back from this one.
It will. Whether the Zebras can fight back or not, Chris Hayes going to have to work his magic in the interval. We'll let him do that, and we'll be back on the other side with the second 45 from KG5. It's Launceston City 3, Hobart Zebras 0.
This shot doesn't happen the way they wish, and despite something.
And Delaney, she swings it in. Looking for Morrison, right stick for us, and shoulders down, couldn't connect with a left-footed volley. Gets it back and tussles with Beth Bygrave. Finding a pocket of space. She likes to shoot from distance. She goes.
Oh, good shot.
Over the mark. Nothing any time.
Grass it before her.
Supporting runs to come. It's a tough skill to learn, especially for a defender as Riddler's pushed over from behind. That's easy for really pushing forwards from this set-based opportunity. Bowden goes near post, palmed away. Bygrave will just smash it out of there in any direction. Bygrave still going. Beth Bygrave. She shoots on the left. It's straight at Ponting, and she does well to collect. Beth Bygrave looking to test. Might spring Keelan Fagan in behind.
Oh, nearly found some space there.
Number Mason, well, I thought she'd done well, but she's committed the foul, and this is very much Asian. Launceston City star midfielder, she drives it, spills it, then pokes over the rebound, and Launceston City have taken the lead here. Might have been Hernick or not. Hernick, this is an impressive run. She's got him behind here. She's got a couple to pick out the box, and it's a toe in the end
Good
from
touch.
Ponting. It just took it away from the team. Goal scorer, she swings in a dangerous kick to the back post. Well done, Delaney. Cleared it off the line. Today, Bowden looks to thread one through. Monet can't be running there. Dewsbury first to it. Conventional technique, but just about deals with it. Sliding out under. Away by Stevenson. Finds Bygrave. Now Bygrave again, shaping to shoot. Any time well, even when she does a good job, still going Keelan Fagan. Oh, well done, Kayla Mason. That was a strong challenge. Fagan back to Bygrave. To the back post. Hernick's lurking there. Saville for the forwards. Some suspicion of handball against O'Brien, but that would be extremely up.
Shot for long range.
On the roof, and they've got a game plan here today at Launceston City. Point. Mason, that's a risky pass right to three City players. One of them was Saville. Doesn't really make him pay, but Mason recovered superbly there. Just Kayla Mason. Long range shot. Juggled in the end there by Fancy Ponting. Come Launceston City. Keelan Fagan cutting inside. Keelan Fagan trying to manufacture a shot. Just couldn't quite find the space. It was closed down. The corner will be taken. It's a dangerous one.
Goes over the keeper.
I think it's Lillian Sheegog who's claimed the last touch there. Straight over the head of Casey Ponting, who puts her head down. Ooh, balled away. Well done in the end there by Dewsbury. It was a great corner. McGregor plays it. Well, and now Fagan might get on the end of this. It was just slightly over, hit the cross. Terrific overlapping play from Fagan. Scrappy stuff, and then Saville smashes one. Tremendous foul up there on the top of the box. Keelan Fagan with a sharp turn. Now Saville slides it back into the path of Fagan. Well done, Ponting. Came out and collected. Sheegog gets the better of Kalanzi and works it in the Fagan direction. Hernick attacked it superbly and buries it into the back of the net. She just wanted it more. And Hernick makes it 3-0. Launceston City. Early ball for Riddler to run onto. And she picked out Monique Undy in the box. She swings in that direction. It might go through to Morris at the back post. You just need weak contact with the left on the end there. But probably Zebra. Bygrave swings in a dangerous ball. Well blocked Mason. Denied the shot. Hector's played it back in. Mason again away. So Bygrave once again. Over the head of Stevenson. Top of the box was Hector. Away by Delaney, only as far as Brooke Hernick. Her shot withheld by Kalanzi. Hector not a Morris, and now they're going to have to defend because Bygrave swings in a teasing ball looking for the run of Hernick. Easily gathered on this occasion though by Casey. The big Zebras fight back in the second 45. Beth Bygrave, she can make an absolute mountain to climb if she can pull the fourth. welcome back to KG5 for the second half. It's Launceston City firmly in the ascendancy. It's going to take something pretty special for the Hobart Zebras to haul this one in. Molly Appleton, how do they do it?
They're going to have to get some more touches on the midfield. I know that Launceston are pressing really high, but they're going to have to find a way to get through that Launceston midfield so they can connect the midfield. The Zebras can connect the midfield with Monique Undy, who's doing a lot of work but has no support around her whenever it does get close to her.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that analysis. It's been a midfield battle dominated by Launceston City. We thought they might have taken a bit of a step back in that area with the departure of Caitlin Storey, but they've been fantastic in there today. Grove well supported in there by the likes of Saville and Sydney Hector. Doing a fantastic job. Kiara Walsh slotting in at left back today and doing that job nicely. There's Brooke Hernick. Works this one back to Dewsbury. Undy got a shoulder on that one. Fagan. Spill for Hernick. It was well read there by Kayla Mason. Bygrave with some fancy footwork. Oh, has the ball on the string.
Does well there, yeah.
Magical stuff from the reigning MVP, and it might lead to a goal. They're in here, City. It's a powerful shot, and it's a good save from Casey Ponting to deny Holly Saville. It'll be a corner, but already in the first minute we've slumped into a familiar pattern here. Cut inside. Ponting did well. Positioning was spot on. Covered the corner nicely. They're immediately on the front foot in the second half too. Launceston City. Looking a good response from them so far. Dangerous one swung in. Mason heads it behind. It'll be another corner. Again, Holly Saville. She curls it right on top of the roof of the net. Not the tidiest work there on that occasion. We'll have another look back and talk us through this one, Molly.
And this one, Bygrave just gets the ball, turns the player. Doesn't matter, it looks like it's going out because she's going to keep it in anyway. So some beautiful play there. Makes it look easy.
Yeah, she does. It's those type of moves that kind of enable her to find that space in midfield that allows her to unleash that absolute cannon of the right peg she has. She's demanding something of Walsh on this occasion. And Walsh back into the middle for Saville. Saville to Fagan. Fagan for Hernick. Delaney did just about enough. Well defended there by Erin Delaney. On a key battle. Georgia Burt picks it up in the Morris direction. Burt. Now O'Brien.
Trying to look for something to happen here, but no one's really making any of the runs. And it goes out anyway.
Just all a little bit stagnant, I think.
Yeah, the Zebras midfield have been caught flat, I suppose, from having to defend for a full half. But it's not helping them with trying to claw back some goals right now.
Give Rachel Riddler this one to chase. Undy also bearing down on Walsh. Worked it back to Dewsbury, dissected the gap there, and City will repel once more through Walsh. Picked off by McGregor. Walsh will get another crack at it. She sends this one very high. Mason heads it down, straight to Selena Steventon. Marauding through the middle of the park. O'Brien was there to steer it away for the Zebras. Now Walsh takes on Riddler and beats her. And she's surging down the left-hand flank here, Walsh. Threads it now for Hernick. McGregor's probably got the pace. Can she catch her? Hernick just tried to work it off her and win a corner. Do so. Walsh chipped it in, looking for Fagan. Fagan trying to turn O'Brien. Showed good strength, Maddie O'Brien. Youngster not going to get around it that easily. Stevenson And Ponting should be able to relieve the pressure. Which is the kick in the Morris direction. Kalanzi to Burt. Now Bowden. One back though, Holly Saville. She's having a fantastic game in the middle of the park for this side, and she's going on here, trying to combine with Fagan. Zebra's defence just hanging on by a thread there. Holly Saville is driving the play, and she's back on it here. Tried to thread that one for Hector. Didn't quite. Now Undy and Burt almost collide. Too close to each other. Bygrave wanted the short option. Hernick wanted to run on over the top. So she dwells on it, waits and assesses her options and tries to slide one through for Holly Saville. Mason has been a pretty good game defensively. He's made a lot of challenges. Struggled a little with the distribution at times, but that goes for most of this Zebra side. They just struggle to cope with the pressure being applied to them. And that's only leading to more pressure. Swung in, Bowden should see that one away. Really clear the area though. Hernick. Bygrave there, this one whacked to the top of the box. Little Hernick up there. Centre back bombing on. Well, won by Kalanzi. And wins the free kick there, so has to relieve it, but the first 5 minutes have really gone as the first 45 did, to be honest, Molly. It's gone straight back into that pattern once more.
Yep, Lonnie definitely are dominating this game, and the Zebras are just finding it hard to find any control on the ball and for any urgency. And here we have the first sub of the game.
Well, we've got the change. Danielle Canagiza being introduced, who certainly sparked them last week. You were at that game. Tell us a little bit about the impact Canagiza had off the bench last week. Yeah,
last game they just gave them some purpose. She just gave them some purpose up front and gave them an option and just someone that runs at the defence. So if Zebras are able to get the ball to her feet today, hopefully she can produce something similar.
Certainly a goal scorer, and she'll be hungry to get her team back into the contest. They're coming from a long way down. It might be further down if Saville has her way, but secure hands from Casey Ponting. All the long shots that Launceston City have launched, it's been when they've got the ball wide and crossed in that they've profited.
Absolutely, it's worth giving a shot from long range, but Ponting seems to be having pretty safe hands today, especially with how dry the weather's been. No problem at all.
Delaney down the line, looking to get Canagiza her first involvement, but slightly errant pass on that occasion. Walsh with the throw in for Hernick. Zebras gathered there and they win the ball back through McGregor, who's just got absolutely no one to pass the ball to.
And Beth Bargrave knew it, and she was able to win the ball very easily for Lonnie to now have control of play once again.
Saville storming into the box. Mason makes up really good ground. She came from 3 metres behind there and puts it behind for a corner, but that passage of play a moment ago just sums up the Zebras at the moment. They just look out of ideas. This is not the same team we saw last year that have had 3 options last year. At the moment, perhaps, I don't know if it's a work rate, I don't know if they're just tired because they've been doggedly defending for so long, but they're not spreading as they normally do and giving each other those passing options, and therefore it's all unravelling before they can even really build anything.
Absolutely, you can say that they're tired from defending, but they've been doing this since the first minute of the game, really, where the midfield struggled for options. So
nearly 4-0 there. That one headed just past the post. Expert delivery from Beth Bygrave. There's Brooke Hernick.
That was almost right on her head there. Good opportunity.
Great delivery. No one on that back post either. The gap was there. Didn't quite pick it, but it's Launceston City looking at the goods here. bouncing back in a major way. Good feeling about the club up north at the moment, Launceston City. Things going well for them. Both the Super League and NPL side of things. A club that just feels a little bit on the rise. Could be a big year for them as Fagan tried to cut inside of Mason, who again made the challenge. Bygrave, she's going to shape to shoot, you know that. She does just that and fires it straight to Ponting again, who once again gathers it in quite comfortably. Building short from the back on this occasion. Bowden, I thought, infringed in the back by Hector. A long ball for Undy to chase. Did really well to beat Walsh to a great work, Monique Undy. Can she work it back towards Kanagisa now?
But there's no options there.
Finally one presents itself in the form of Bowden. Now Burt, that's more like it, but they've just pulled the trigger too soon there. But it was better passing at least from the Zebras. They search for a way back into this one. It was a good run from Monique Undy.
They're going to need some more of that if they've got any chance of getting back in this game.
Hernick slides it through for Fagan. Well done, Mason again. She's won a lot of challenges today, Kayla Mason.
She has in that matchup with Fagan. It just seems to be fun to watch. And Kayla's looking like she's getting the better of it most of the time.
Yeah, you can't fault her for the scoreboard, really. And she's probably the member of that Zebras back four that has the wheels to go with Fagan. Not too many do, but Mason certainly quick enough. It's been perhaps the one knock in a game has been the distribution. She cops it up here to Fagan. Kalanzi will try and steer that one out, but didn't have enough momentum, and now she's got a real battle on her hands against Shegog. Sticking to a task well, though, was Kalanzi. And behind it goes for a goal kick. So good recovery from the youngster. And the short pass out from the back to Georgia Bird. Delaney, close down by Emily Hernick. Kanagisa. And she do. A substitute. And she sparked this side. As I mentioned last week, there was a 3-1 half-time lead for Lonnie City. And they lost 6-3, but in fairness, Ulverston created a bit more in the first half than we'd seen from the Zebras, just not necessarily taking those chances. But it's got to give heart for Zebras if they can pull one back. I know this is a team that's been a little bit creaky at the back in the last 2 weeks. They've shown no signs of it today, however. Here's Hernick. Good strong challenge from Bird, as was Bygrave. Two midfielders. No nonsense from either of them. Burt blocked off by Saville. Forced to retreat back to Maddie O'Brien. She sends it to Delaney. Couldn't pick out Kanagisa, and Walsh seized on it. Well done, O'Brien got a foot in expertly, and now Lucy McGregor's going to try and spring Kanagisa. It's a foot race between her and Walsh, who opts for safety first. Just puts it over the line. So it looks like Ali Berry, I think, being prepared to be introduced here for Maddie O'Brien. Well, that is an attacking substitution. So Chris Hayes decided, well, let's not die wondering. He takes off his centre-back and his captain, who I can't imagine would be thrilled with that decision, but looks like Bowden slides back into defence and Berry comes on. So they are just throwing attackers at them now, the Zebras. Probably the right option.
That's it. You've got to do something with 3-0 behind. You can't just keep it as it is, because it's obviously not working, even with the substitute of Kaganesi.
Kanagisa. He's a tongue twister. Stitch me up a few times.
I should just stick to DK probably, but
that's why we love a nickname at Slice of Cheese here, Molly. You'll learn that one. Here's Hernick charging down the left. Crosses near post and Ponting collects. So Berry, such a star for this Zebras team last year, really dominated the competition. Still good form in attack that really started the whole run they had last year. Fagan into the box, tried to sneak one near post, and she has. She squeezed that one through Casey Ponting, who's not closed down the near post, and that's probably the ball game now. 4-0. Keelan Fagan, well, you never know unless you try. She thought, we'll just try and sneak it in, and she's done just that. And it's Launceston City who are well on their way to victory now. And Ponting, she'd like to have that one back, I think, the keeper.
Absolutely, that's not a nice goal to give up as a keeper. Near post, should have that covered.
Seemed like she did have it covered too. Positioning was there.
Just slipped through somehow. Too much power on the shot, maybe.
Just didn't quite seal the gap. And unfortunately for Zebras, they've just made 2 subs to bring on a couple of attackers. It's even tougher for them now. And the danger is when you take off a centre back for another attacker, you could leak a few more the other way. Mr. Bowden be very capable stepping in at centre half, mind you. Here's McGregor. Bowden for Katagiza. Sydney Hector with the header. Now Morris. Morris for McGregor. Lucy McGregor working it to Undy, showed good strength. She's surrounded by City players here. Did really well there, Monique Undy. Worked it to Georgia Burt. And flies just over the bar. But, wonderful play from Monique Undy there. Held the ball up. Strong play from her, surrounded by green shirts. And worked it to Burt, who couldn't quite direct the effort. Saville. Not looking for She-Gog, but that will elude her. Ticked past an hour here, and the lovely sunshine we had upon arrival at the ground has quickly dissipated. Didn't expect that to last too much longer, and it appears normality is about to be restored with some very ominous looking clouds about. Well, I think the Super League girls have probably got the better time slot here ahead of the NPL. I think they might get a little bit wet. These girls might make it to full time. We'll see.
It's hopeful at least. There's been a good time without rain, so got to take that after this weekend.
Bygrave tried to drive that one. Georgia Burt doing a good job closing her down. And they go looking for Kanagiza, but she'd run a bit too far forward and allowed Walsh in. Walsh to Hernick. Hernick will want to get onto the left foot, but she just took too heavy a touch. And behind it goes for the goal kick. So Sydney Hector working it back there. Sydney really gone out of this one. I think both teams are sensing that this result might be done. It's
yeah,
a lot of energy.
Yeah, there's been times when the Zebras have had the ball in the back where first half Lonnie would have been on them like flyers, but this half, since the 4th goal, they've just sat back a bit, which, hey, you're 4-0 up. It's time to sit back and enjoy it a bit, isn't it?
Absolutely. No need to take exposing any risk by throwing bodies forward as Fagan tries to manufacture one and kills it wide of the mark. If you're City, you just kill this one off, get through the next half an hour without any injuries and head back up the highway, right back in the thick of the title race. That'll be their plan. Win here today. We would have pretty much reached, obviously, a couple of fixtures in round 7 are going to be played at a later date due to the the rain, but after the first full round of fixtures, it's going to be Ulverston 7 from 7, and City 6 from 7, and then a bit of a gap to the rest. So these two northern sides, traditional rivals, look like they could be set to duke it out again, and it's going to be tough for Zebras as Bygrave with a rather tepid shot in the end there on the left, getting the wires crossed. Mason. Forward. Berry gets her first touch on the ball. Burt. To Delaney. A bit of open field in front. She'll slide it there looking for Kanagisa, who'd zigged when teammate expected her to zag, unfortunately. The inside run, and the ball came down the line. Here's Bowden. Knees it forward. Bygrave to Hernick. Back to Bygrave. Outside of the boot chip was good. Nearly wastes the ball, Beth Bygrave. Here's Hernick. Hernick trying to play in Holly Saville. Well done, Kalanzi. Good awareness from the fullback. The need to step in. A 1-2 between Burt and Kanagisa. But Walsh has that well under control.
Gee, she's been good all match. Dealt with the players out wide with ease. No problem.
I agree. She's been outstanding. That's Kiara Walsh. I'm surprised to see her at left back today, but I have to say it has definitely worked. Here's Brooke Hernick. Kanagisa. Get round Walsh once again. She's won everything that's come her way today. Delaney goes for Kanagisa. With a foot in Bygrave. Charge down Delaney. Forward to Burt. Now Undy. Undy for Berry. Berry back to Burt. Just look to blast it in the Morris direction. Fagan does really well there, Keelan Fagan. Extracted the ball and now takes it off and leads the break out. Checks back inside. Plays it to Sydney Hector. Another who's been a strong performer on the day. Kanagisa tracking back nicely, but Walsh just bought a little bit of room well there with some skill. She want to go onto the right foot and cross here, Walsh. She does just that. Dangerous looking ball. Well done, Mason. Attacked that. Just go flying across to win the header. Not where Kanagisa intended the ball to go, but it'll probably do. Producer suggests it might snow, and I tell you what, I think it's dropped 10 degrees in the last 5 minutes here. It is getting seriously cold. I think it's going to be a tough afternoon for the MPL. The rain is set. But there's not going to be too much raining on Launceston City's parade today. They have been fantastic and look set to register a huge victory. It was something they couldn't do last year in these head-to-head battles with the Zebras. At the first time of trying in this season, they'll do it as Undy fouls Walsh. Just continues to win the battles there. He's the left back. Both these teams, of course, out of the statewide cup, so it won't be in action next week. Big surprise after the two played off in the final last year. Neither making it to the final four this year, obviously partly due to the draw, but also just showing the little shift that's going on at the moment from 2017 to 2018 in women's football. Here's Georgia Burt. Ali Berry. That's a good ball for Undy if she's onside. Undy's in behind. The touch took her wide. Undy, well done, Shrewsbury.
Well done, keeper.
Got out. Closed it down. And when Undy looked certain to score, Shrewsbury denied her. Here's Mason. Undy. Morris with a chance to run in behind here. Sarah Morris, she's got time and space. Can she pull one back for the Zebras? Morris drives Dewsbury again. Another big save. 2 in a minute for the City number 1. Kanagisa. Her cross is repelled. Here's Ali Berry. Back for Lucy McGregor. Tries to finesse one from distance. And wide of the mark. And think we've got to replay that Dewsbury save lined up, Ash, because that was top draw. That's the McGregor shot. It's all right, we'll go back a little early, but I thought Morris was just going to deposit that one straight to the back of the net.
Me too, it was a good hit, but the keeper did well to stand up and save that.
Here's Hernick. Whisked it away there, but turned it over to Georgia Burt. She goes centrally, picked up by Sydney Hector. Hector. She-Gog giving chase, but Mason again. So much work at the back. She-Gog inside. Bygrave still working hard, still wanting it. Got there ahead of McGregor. Now looks up. So somebody move for me. Eventually the fullback does. She works it in for Saville. This is tidy play. Fagan back for Saville. Ponting will collect. And a lovely passing football there from Launceston City. Doing it nicely. Stevenson just misjudging that one a fraction. Stevenson. And pass on that occasion. Experienced City defender. Capable of either a centre back or a defensive midfield type role. Going up alongside Hernick in the hard off defence today. And now Undy with a chance to spring in behind. It's Monique Undy chipping it back towards the penalty spot. Not enough purchase on it to find Morris, however. We'll have another look at this stop. Fantastic stuff from the keeper there. Looked a certain goal. Delaney to Undy, back to Delaney. This one comes down to Bowden, read it well, controlled it nicely, works it to Burt. Now Kanagiza, who was offside, coming back from the offside position. So 20 minutes to go. At this point, players just see if they can't grab themselves a goal. A consolation mark on Monique Undy coming very close here. It was the first of two very good pieces of goalkeeping in the space of 30 seconds up. Walsh built it. Bowden trapped it. Bygrave. Down the line for Hernick. Hernick. Around Alyssa Bowden. Bygrave. Oh, not dealt with by Kalanzi, but slides out the back for Casey Ponting. No harm done. Here's Berry. Oh, well done, Ali Berry. And there's the directness that she offers that perhaps has been lacking a little bit today. And she slides one through for Kanagiza, just boxed out though by Walsh, who can do no wrong today, it seems. Saville flicks on well. Lindsay goes safety first. And the throw in taken. And looking for Bygrave, but Burt just dropping back into that space well. Ali Berry. Well done, Hernick. Morris lingering, but you can see already Ali Berry, she's added a little bit since coming on.
Absolutely, she's brought some directness that the Zebras haven't had, and just that extra connection and help for Monique Undy up front.
They'll certainly be looking forward to when they can roll her out from the starter games, Ali Berry. Kanagiza as well. But, such a key part of their success last year, Ali Berry, and that's exactly what she does do. She links the lines superbly, links that midfield and forward line really well. There's ability just to unlock a defence too. And of course, he's a prolific goal scorer. But the week that they get Canageezer and Berry back in the squad and playing Super League again, they lose Johnson and Roberts, so they can't take a trick this year, the Zebras.
Couple heavy blows there, definitely. Hard for any team to come back from and have the same performance with those sort of injuries happening.
Absolutely, as Hernick chips this one. Kalanzi works it away. Berry is going to hit that ball. Jumps back on it immediately though. Works it forwards, cut off. Here's Saville. Saville goes for Shigog. Couldn't quite keep that one in play. Throw in. Straight back to the hands of Casey Ponting. What about the throw? Thinks better of it. Unfortunately, her kick went straight to the player you'd least like to give it to, Beth Bygrave. Great ball from Bygrave and a foul by Kalanzi on a Shigog. It was all that stopped her being sprung in behind. What a pass that was from Beth Bygrave.
Absolutely, made it look easy, the composure she had on the ball before making that pass.
You just see the end of it there. And the free kick. It might be a chance for Bygrave to profit, though it's Selena Stevenson lining up over this set piece. What can Stevenson conjure up? The rest of City's English contingent. It's Stevenson. Right off the back post there. Not sure if it was a shot or whether she was just curling one for Hernick to attack. But either way, the result the same. But the result here is looking very, very promising for his side. Mason, that was dicey. Coughed it straight up to Saville. She dished it off to Caroline Fagan. Here's Kiara Walsh. Will it stay in for Hernick? No, she had plenty of space to operate in, had it done so. Hernick. Fagan, Saville, Bygrave. Lovely football, just wide of the post. Confidence is high here for City, and it looks like a substitution for Launceston. Amy Hallaby is going to replace Lillian Shigog. First change for the day there for City, and a very happy Luigi there greeting Lillian Shigog as he comes off. Big smile on his face. He's quite content. He's left frustrated on a few occasions against the Zebras in 2017. Today they've had that cutting edge, and they have been well worth his impending victory. McGregor hustling away, falls to Hernick. Canageezer. Laney gave it straight to Hector. He gave it to Saville. Stretch there from Delaney to deny Hernick sneaking behind. Here's Sydney Hector. Oh, well done, Georgia Bird. Did it well. Morris, just a little push off there on the fullback. Can she get in behind? So good strength here, Sarah Morris. Still going. In the end, nicely defended. Kept in. Oh, don't know about that decision. It might lead to a goal for Canageezer, but it's wide off the post. It rather broke down there for a moment. It was initially really well defended by Agatowski, but the decision to keep it in, perhaps not the right one there. Mason to Ponting. Mason stretch for that one, just got a toe there. Burt back to Ponting. Substitute looking for her first involvement there. Team number 4's going at it, and it's going to be a free kick to Kalanzi. Zebras trying to pull back a consolation goal here before full time. There's Bygrave and Hernick. Hernick decides to take Delaney on and cuts out wide on the left, and she's had a pretty good day, Emily Hernick, but I don't think that'll be making the intergame highlights reel somehow. A bit of a tired looking cross, that one. Good reason to be tired. She's put in a fantastic shift down the left today, Emily Hernick. Scored a fantastic goal in the process. Ball for Hector. Hernick. Around Delaney. The throw will go the way of City. And just a few cramps there for Hernick as she gets back to the feet. I think she'd be happy for the full-time whistle at this stage.
I think most of the players on the field would be happy for a full-time whistle at this stage.
Yeah, it does seem to be rather going through the motion. City might fancy a fifth here though. And he collects. Anything could come of that. Rolls it out to Lucy McGregor. Kalanzi with the overlapping run. Bygrave back in for Saville. And Saville strikes one from range, but that's never going to test Ponting. Rolls that one out for Ali Berry. Punching that one in the undie direction. Getting a foot in with Steventon. Saville. Kept up. Now Berry. Berry looks for the run of undie again. Steventon sweeping across behind, as she customarily does. Burt won a good challenge there. Hector, been impressive all day. And with support from Walsh, they'll work their way out of the trouble there. It's becoming rather disjointed here, but a chance perhaps for Launceston City. Down the left through the impressive Walsh. Here's Saville. Fagan. Link up here. The substitute can quite do so. Bygrave with some space. Again, wide of the mark, and she's pulled the trigger pretty frequently, but it just doesn't come off for Beth Bygrave today with the long range shots. There's been no shortage of them. I reckon she'd have more shots than anyone else on the field.
I don't think you're wrong there. She's been knocking all game, but just nothing with power on target, unfortunately.
Hasn't mattered for a team though. You've profited. I suppose if it has achieved one thing, it's probably earned a few corners, a few kind of box them in the final third type moments, which might have led to the goals.
Yeah, it's definitely created pressure on the back line because their distribution's not very good. So even when Ponting does get her hands on the ball, Sebras still seem to be under the pressure pretty quickly soon after.
They've had real trouble playing their way out. Beth Bygrave just stands and says, I can't be bothered anymore. Just give it to me. I'm not going to chase. Just give it to me.
Well, she's done enough work today.
Absolutely. Morris is going out there trying to get one. 4-0, 84th minute of a game. No need to go make the sliding, lunging challenge there. Risk injuring yourself for future weeks. Just wait till someone feeds you the ball, as they inevitably will, and they win it back. It's the pattern of the day.
Absolutely.
Hector shadowing Undy. He turns into a bit of space and drops it off for Burt. Bowden. Kalanzi for McGregor. Back for Alyssa Bowden.
There's absolutely no space in the middle of the park for Zebras to move into, and that just shows they're losing the ball even out wide. There's just nothing going on for them.
Yeah, it's been a disjointed display. Unfortunately, they've got some work to do to get back to where they were 12 months ago, the Zebras. Lovely ball from Bygrave, stretching away there. It was Delaney, but City did a really good job just dropping all their numbers back in the middle of the pitch too. Just cut it off, said you can have the wide areas if you want, but I'm going to box you out.
Oh, yeah, they've been doing that all game. The moment they lose the ball, you've got 2 or 3 midfielders in front of the defence protecting them, and it's worked.
Bygrave spinning and volleying and chipping it over Berry. Just doing as she pleases, Beth Bygrave at the moment. Yeah, working it forwards and Ponting will collect. Ponting. That's from Morris. Fagan linking up with Saville. Back to Keelan Fagan. Blocked by her opposite number, Mason. Continuing to work hard in defence. Morris charging forwards now. Can the Zebras grab one back late? Sarah Morris cutting a determined figure as she tries to charge past Brooke Hernick. Does so successfully. But a heavy touch lets in Dewsbury. Oh, I think it's going to be pulled back from a bit of pushing earlier on in the move, and it'll be a free kick the Zebras' way.
Hopefully they can create something out of this and get a consolation prize, but at the moment, who knows?
They've not looked overly likely. Georgia Bird, good technician over a dead ball though. They've thrown plenty of bodies forward here to try and grab that late consolation marker. So Georgia Burt sends it in. Bundy brought it down, then shielded the space, but it was cleared away easily enough. And Bygrave will just smash that one forwards. Hernick. Hullaby there. Knocked it back. Kayla Mason will defer and let Ponting take a hold of this one. 3 minutes plus change remaining in regulation. Don't think there'll be too much added time. And Bygrave just dropping deep now and chips that one forward onto the head of Bowden. Ollie Saville has been among the very best on ground today. Bygrave. Ball for Hernick, who's into the box. She's going for number 5 and on the right, just throwing it off target. And the non-preferred on that occasion is Hernick. Who do you have as your best players in the votes today, Molly, if we're dishing them out? Who have you got?
Honestly, probably just all of Launceston's midfield there. You've got Beth Bygrave, that's just controlled the game completely. And then you've got number 12.
Sydney Hector, number 12.
You've got Sydney Hector, who's just protected her defence so well and has stopped anything that's come away. And then you've got to give something to Fagan there. She's worked tirelessly the whole game, even towards the end here. She's shutting down players like just there. So you've got to give her points as well.
It's been a good team performance. Kiara Walsh, another one I've been impressed with. On the left. I think she's let anyone in behind her flank all day and has offered it a bit the other way. Smiling Nico Jean Sopples almost gets himself involved there in the pre-game action there. It's looking like it's going to be a good start to the day for Launceston City to stay with us. Of course, double header here at KG5. The NPL to follow. And can the Zebras pull one back late here? Undy trying to get behind. Hector has been immense, so I'm really impressed with her game. And won another challenge there. McGregor. For Burt, Berry, Hector wins it again.
She's been in the middle of everything.
She keeps winning the ball back. It's just kept rebounding back. It's like watching someone playing tennis against a wall, essentially. Just come flying back at them all day.
That's it, those second balls, just Zebras have had no chance all game with Sydney Hector just getting onto it straight away.
Not too long left here. Women's Super League. 4-0 Launceston City. A big win for them. A big win for their title hopes. Will push them back within 3 points of Ulverston. Keep things interesting. Mulgrave checks that one forward. Saville looking to go on the end of it again. Mason won it. She can hold her head high. Has defended pretty well. Coughed it up again to Hector. That one stretching there was hurting. Points for effort, if not the execution. There's Berry. It's a pretty dark old day for the Hobart Zebras. Much like the clouds above. It's not promising for them. They're going to have to pick themselves back up next week off. The Cup semi-finals, and then they're going to need to bounce back with an improved performance. Be playing South Hobart, I'd imagine, if the roster just repeats again. So perhaps in 2 weeks' time, Geezer and Berry might be ready to start too, which would be a big boost to them, no doubt. Here's Georgia Burt. Geezer wants to make the bursting run in behind. She tries to play it that way, but Geezer has strayed. And the offside flag raised. One roll over the top. And curled away. Georgia Burt down the line for Geezer. Danielle Geezer with some grass out in front of here. Can she make the most of it? Plays the early cross, looking to play in. Renee County. It's Selena Stevenson tracking back. Break up the play once more. And that is all she wrote. Josh McInerney brings this round 7 Super League game to its conclusion. Launceston City thumping victors 4-0. So final thoughts, Molly, before we head off for a quick break, the turnaround, and then the PL game. You can have the final word on this one.
A very convincing win there by Launceston City. They didn't give Hobart Zebras a chance there, and I think, yeah, well deserved. They got enough shots on goals, and they definitely found the space out wide and got the crosses in, which Zebras just couldn't deal with. In 2 weeks' time, when Hobart are back, they're going to have to find something up front because it's just not happening for them at the moment.
That is the verdict here from KG5. A big victory for Launceston City. They move back within 3 points of the summit. Do stick around. Speaking of top of the summit, it's first v second in the NPL Tasmania coming up in around about 15 minutes' time. We'll be back with the stream of that game. Bye for now.